Hey, so basically, I've been looking at songs that I wrote ages ago, like years ago when I started to play guitar, and they're all so much better than the songs that I'm writing these days. And one of the theories I have of why that is because when you get older, you just stop caring and you start forgetting, you know, um, what makes a good song, so you forget. It's like you start off and you listen to your favorite band and you have an understanding of, what they're doing to write good songs. But as you get older, like I say, you stop caring and you start listening to other music. Um, you start, for example, when it comes to writing music, I mean, I started off listening to Nirvana, and what drew me to them was also not just how amazing it sounded, but how simple their songs were. So it inspired me to pick up the guitar and write music like that. I realized that if you write simple music, you can write really good music, and you can keep it simple. And when you're younger, you just have a different outlook on life because you haven't been through as much as someone who's older. You don't have as many experiences. And I think that because you're like fresh, because you're naive, it's like you can just you absorb music in a different way, if that makes sense. You All your ideas are fresh, because it's all new and it's all exciting. Um, when you get older, it's like it's the same. It's like same shit, different day. Um, you've you've done it enough, and you're just bored of it, so you're not excited about it anymore. Um, you're not excited about the riffs that you're writing, and a lot when it comes to writing good music, writing a good riff, for example, it's like it's got to be exciting to you, and that's how it's going to be exciting to other people, and that's how it's going to be something that you're proud that you've written. It's going to sound good. If you're not excited about, if you're just picking up the guitar and going, okay, I got to write a song, and you're not really passionate as you used to be, which will probably be the case if you've been playing for a long time, because it just gets old and it just gets repetitive, and it's just like you just stop caring. Um, so everything you write is gonna be shit compared to, well, it's not gonna be as good as when you started out. So and you kind of like, um, it's easy to kind of lose the plot when it comes to understanding what makes a good song a good song. You kind of like, it's like you start um kind of throwing out the rule book, and I'd say that you need to throw out the rule book from the get go, but at the same time, there are some things that there are some rules that you should abide to, if it comes to like writing a good song, keeping it simple, for example, um, if you keep it simple, it's easier to play, it's easier to perform. If you're if it's kind of like if you start getting adventurous with things and start trying to make things complicated, it's like it's hard to perform complicated songs and it's hard to um it's like you expect too much from yourself. Um so there are some rules that you should abide to, like, I know in my case, I'm a very limited guitar player. I'm not that great. I can play simple songs, but that's it. Um, I feel that, I don't know, I just think that um, you just stop understanding what makes a good song, you know? Because when you're younger, you just understand it more on a deeper level, but you kind of lose touch with that when you get older because you just stop caring and you start caring about other things in life, like getting a girlfriend and stuff like that, and cleaning your room, like, do you know what I mean? It's like just stuff that you would laugh at when you were younger, like the idea of like thinking that you should clean your room when you're younger. You see that as a joke. You're like, why does that even matter? But when you get older, you start to think it's important just because it makes you happy to clean your room and stuff like that. But it kind of like, the more you kind of do it, this sounds stupid, but the more you kind of do it, it kind of distracts you from um, um, your ideas of um, what it takes to be a good musician, because image is important as well. And I think when I was younger, I was didn't clean my room because it was kind of an image thing. Like I liked that kind of grunge. Well, I don't want to say grungy, but I liked that kind of. I just thought it was cool to um, do stuff like not clean your room and you know um, get drunk and stuff like that. But when you get older, you start. They call it being mature, and it is. But I think like you just stop caring, and like society demands things from you. Like I'm in rehab right now, and they demand I clean my room every day, stuff like that. Um, it's like places like rehab will shape you into a new, different person. I remember being afraid of going to rehab when I was younger because I was scared of um, ultimately becoming somebody that I wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Like losing touch with things that were important to me. Like my image was important to me, but like these days, I'm kind of like have more of the personality of someone who's um, maybe more of like a Blink 182 fan rather than a Nirvana fan, for example, if that makes any sense, if you know what I'm trying to say. Um, when you're younger, you see the world for what it is. When you're older, you start, um, reality just becomes distorted. Um, your vision becomes distorted. You see life through a different lens when you're older, you know. Um, you've gathered loads of beliefs about the world and how things are, and you just have a different outlook on life when you're older. Um, you just, I feel like adults, when you're older, adults in general, they're just full of shit. Like they're shitheads, you know? And that happens just because the older you get, the less you care, because everything just becomes a drag. You've been doing everything for so long and you just stop caring when you get older. Um, so you just become a shithead. Um, when you're younger, you have like I say, you see the world for what it is. You haven't had time to, um, yeah, haven't had time to, um, learn bullshit, learn lies. You're not a shithead yet because you haven't gone through um, as much as the older guy. So, there's a Charles Manson lyric and it says, the young might not be so dumb after all. From the young, you might even learn. Um, so, that's all I want to say. All right, bye.